3000.
What is doing? My name's Maloney. This is the 3000 podcast. I'm joined today by Dolphin Jones. Thanks for coming, man.
Oh, too easy, man. Thank you for having.
You've made it's quite a journey to get down here, so I appreciate it.
Well, I started out as a fan, and then I was somewhat of an annoyance, and now I'm a guest. So there you go. You can do it too, kids.
Everyone can do it. Well, that's it, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Nah, too easy, bro.
We've got a lot to talk about with you, man. But let's start at the beginning, man. How did you get involved in this hip hop shit, dude?
Well, from the very beginning.
Very beginning, man. This is what we do.
I grew up with like words. You know, you just get like privilege and stuff. Like, some people grow up with money, right? But I grew up with people around that were kind of good and influential. So like, you might know of a rapper called Mantra, and his mum and my mum are friends. So as a little kid, he used to babysit me.
Wow.
And tell me like, oh, this is how you construct bars and crap like that. So I got a bit of an unfair head start, maybe. And
And he was a good teacher as well because he did that for people. He
is a teacher, yeah. He is as by profession, he's a teacher. And then just my brother and my sister when they growing up in the 80s with like, the graph crews and stuff like that. So I just had a lot of people around that a lot of people know. But I didn't know who they were then. I just thought they were my brother and sister's mates, and they were like out there painting and doing like things that I wouldn't appreciate for about 10 years.
Right.
Yeah.
But it always helps having older siblings to school you on that. They've got more music hanging around. They've got more art. They've got more culture, you know?
Well, my brother's a DJ, so he put us onto a lot of music.
What kind of DJ? Like hip-hop?
He does like hip-hop, but he does a lot of house and sort of like the Detroit movement, sort of electronic music. But yeah, no, he showed us a lot of fucking really good stuff. Like, even the stuff I didn't like too much, I didn't choose to listen to afterwards. Still interesting, so...
Yeah. So he had turntables at the house and 12-inch records and that sort of thing.
I never lived with him, but yeah, when I go around to see him, he's like my half brother actually. He's about 15 years older than me, so
it's a fair gap, yeah.
So yeah, that's why we never lived in this. But yeah, he'd look after me as well, you know. Basically, all the people look after me as kids were like putting me onto sick shit. Like my brother, shout outs to my brother Eds, man. He bought us when I was 13. He saw us just getting some real toy tags up and bought us a copy of Star Wars on DVD. You know?
The 20th anniversary one?
Yeah.
Behind the scenes and everything?
Yeah, the 2-disc one.
Yeah,
where
that was good, man.
They should do a 3-disc one where they interview who's left, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be like a fucking wild thing, but eventually all the people from like Star Wars will have severe respiratory problems and possibly, not have the longest lives. But yeah, they should do it, the follow-up disc. Yeah. Just to see like fucking who's still kicking, what they're doing.
Yeah, because that was the 20th year anniversary, so I think that came out in like 2002 or something, maybe?
Yeah. So I was like 12 or 13, I think.
And that schooled you on how it was sort of...
That schooled me on where it came from. Like, before that, I was just... my understanding of hip-hop was like what you saw on TV. Yep. It's like a big chain and a fat ass and Jay-Z, basically, you know? But yeah, I don't know, just getting into graffiti, look, not even necessarily knowing that these elements are like linked in some way and just having a document to like show you. Yep. Because I guess I started doing graffiti in some, I shouldn't say, but yeah, I started doing it when I was like 7.
7?
So yeah, I was really toy.
7? Yeah, so what are you doing, getting Poscas and stuff?
Poscas. I used to get like a fucking, if I couldn't rack paint from the Golo, I'd rack a can of silly string and just practice.
Right. So you're racking at 7 silly string to chuck silly string tags.
Yeah, from the Golo where it's probably about 50 cents anyway, but
yeah,
I didn't have the 50 cents.
From the reject shop or whatever.
Yeah. This is I think this is something that existed at the same time as the reject shop, but shut down before it. You know, It existed concurrently. Shout outs to Golo. If you speak Greek, it's a very fucking funny shop name.
It means arse, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where you started your love affair with graffiti, but you didn't know that graph was one of the elements of hip-hop. Had you discovered...
No, I just liked writing on walls.
And the destructive nature of it.
Yeah. And I don't think I was like necessarily that into hip-hop at age 7. I liked the Spice Girls, you know. I still do.
Do you?
I still do, yeah. They're all right, mate. You know.
The Spice Girls.
Yeah, I don't know. It just brings me back
Yeah.
to a better time. No, yeah, it's just fucking, yeah, just listening to whatever's on the radio at that time.
Uh-huh.
And then I really feel like the first, like, rap music that I heard that I liked was Gangsta's Paradise by Coolio.
Uh-huh. Which was the biggest song in the world for a while.
Yeah, it was the first time that I think that a rap song was #1 on Triple J Oldest 100 in Australia. It didn't happen again until King Kunta.
Really?
That might not be true, but I think it is.
You probably King Kunta was there was an didn't Kendrick have another #1 that wasn't? Oh, maybe no. You're probably right. Yeah.
As far as I can remember, I think that's true. Yeah.
Do you know what the very first hottest 100 was?
Love Will Tear Us Apart 10 times.
No, man. And this is what it was. I think pretty sure it was 92 or 91. And it's funny because this song is so politically incorrect that there's no way Triple J would even play it for a laugh. Yeah. But it was Dennis Leary, Asshole.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was the first ever #1.
Which he stole from Louis C.K. by the way.
Did he? The whole song?
He stole the bit from him and then turned it into a song. I'm up on comedy theft. I like a lot of YouTube videos about who stole whose bit.
Yeah, is that a thing? I've never jumped down that wormhole.
Well, I just noticed it because if you say Australian, and I'm not trying to shit on Australian comedians, but it's a place where you can come here and you can do verbatim other people's bits on TV, and it can be as far back as the 80s, and people just don't have as much knowledge of a international snap. Like, you know Charlie Pickering?
Yes.
Charlie Pickering was, the first time I ever saw him was probably 2006. He was on Rove Live, and he was doing the Don LaFontaine stand-up bit as if it was, you know, that every time you go and you watch a movie, it's got the same, like, trailer guy. He was a man, she was a woman, you know, and it's just like that is already hacked by 1988 in America, but in 2006 on Australian TV, prime material. So it's like this thing where people don't know who's stealing what because they just don't have a diversity of like fucking interest in it.
I've heard that from comedians that I've spoken to, that they say that in the 80s and 90s, we're talking pre-internet, all these comedians would go over to the US, go to the small clubs, pinch all that shit, come back and do it on fucking...
Yeah, just steal it.
Yeah. But they probably weren't thinking about the repercussions of the internet and people showing that in the future.
No, it was just a sort of a sneaky get around. But yeah, I don't know, man.
Are you interested in stand-up comedy, or are you just interested in the thievery part of it?
I like stand-up comedy, yeah. I like to listen to it. And I had a few mates who used to do it. But yeah, I mean, a wormhole's a wormhole, man. You know, like that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like the dynamics. It's a world that I don't really understand, you know. And it's kind of like you can do it in that because like, if someone goes out to a show, right, to go and see someone playing a gig, they'll be maybe seeing like the support act. They know the main act, but they'll give the support act a go. You know what I mean? I guess it doesn't really matter who the support act is, but the main one, right? But comedy is like the only thing that people just go out and be like, fuck it, whoever's on, we'll just go see we'll just go see.
It's an activity.
Comedy, you know, as a broad, yeah. So it's interesting.
I often think about this when it comes from a stand-up comedy perspective, because they can't do the greatest hits all the time like musicians can, you know. They've got to. It's a very, very interesting art form, and the way that the subculture behind that is super interesting. I'd love to talk to some more comedians, but I also don't want to have a podcast where people try and be funny, because I think that's pretty fucking whack. Yeah,
you would want to get a list of people who are able to not, you know, be on all the time.
Yeah,
where people can actually have a conversation.
Yeah,
yeah, that ideally.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just fucking...
How did we start talking about stand-up comedy? Anyway,
who the fuck knows?
But anyway, let's get back on your journey. So
there will be tangents, brother.
Well, that's what it's all about. But my job is to bring it back, man. Bring it back. So while you roll up another one, let's get back to you at 13, learning... Yeah, I think we started talking about Gangsta's Paradise, right?
Yep, Gangsta's Paradise, the Coolio track.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was probably the first one that I really like listened to, and I was like, man, this is sick. And then I think
it probably was a lot of people's introduction to hip hop, to be honest, because it was so in your face, you couldn't escape it. What have you lost?
Oh, fuck, I put my bar.
Is it?
There, it fell down. Yeah, it was. well, it's a cheat, right? Because you're capitalising an already successful song. Mm-hmm. You know,
That's
Pastime Paradise by
that's
Stevie
what
Wonder.
hip hop is, though.
Yeah,
man.
no,
It's all
but
from
that's
samples.
when people sort of started realising that about it. They've started being like, oh, that's not real music, they're just stealing, until they had started going like that involuntarily, and they were like, oh shit, they fucking got me. You know?
Yeah. So that was your introduction?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
Did you go deeper?
Well, the next thing I really like fucked with was like Breathe by The Prodigy. So I just remember like being a little kid and watching that on like Rage or something in the morning, and just kind of like, I don't know, just like my head just fucking exploding.
Yeah, man, that I remember seeing that as well. The whole thing, like, you're seeing dudes with the crazy eyes, you're seeing the whole fucking, like,
Yeah.
the hair things. Like, you're like, what is this? And it hits you in the face and you can't escape that shit.
And that was like by maybe starting the art stuff as well in a weird way, because my brother and my sister, I reckon, when I was a little kid, I had like this fucking sketchbook and I cut 3 pieces of paper, you know, so that you could fold one, fold the other one, you know, out of the main piece of paper. And I did it for 3 pages, and I drew Keith from The Prodigy.
Yeah.
But I just drew his head on one, and then his midsection, and then his legs, and then all 3 on the next one.
Wow.
And they were like, there's something going on with his brain here. It's like interpreting images wrong.
And why'd you pick him just because you thought he was an interesting cat?
I saw the video clip and I was like, what the hell is that? I was like, who the hell is that? Yeah. I just thought it was fucking very just kind of wild sounding, wild looking. It was the 1990s, you know, it was a different time.
And that was those guys really did kind of, well, it sort of fucking sums up the 90s pretty well though. But there's like, you're not sure if that's electronic music, if it's rap, if it's fucking what it is. It's just like dance music. It is what it is.
Kind of general breakbeat at that point.
Yeah.
They started off with whatever it's called, happy hardcore was like the initial genre. Ooh, there we go. But yeah, I mean they're just other people with samplers doing something interesting with breakbeats.
Yeah.
You know, like Portishead.
Yep.
I really liked Portishead. I still do. A lot of that trip hop stuff I find. Like,
Yeah. Massive Attack.
Massive Attack's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like I guess it's just talk about 90s music, even like Air. You know what I mean? Like more relaxed sounding stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I like music, and I definitely like rap music. But yeah, going to dig for beats and stuff like that, push you out into other genres, and then I don't know.
So you were digging at that early age when you found that music?
Well, no, I'm not digging, but my brother's digging because he's a DJ, and I'm sitting in the room with him, so he's telling me about this shit, you know. So yeah, I'm like a passenger.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, still pretty sick.
Yeah. So he's schooling you while you're sitting there, you're just taking it in. Because you said he's 15 years older, so he's probably playing gigs and doing stuff.
Yeah, he was. He was doing, yeah. When I was growing up, I was just like, oh, this is like, you know, something that you could do. So you could be like a cool bloke who does gigs. You know? I was like, fuck me, I'll give that a shot one day.
Right, so that sparks your love affair with music. Is he giving you records and stuff, or is he just?
No, he's not giving us records because we don't have a turntable, right? We got a turntable, but he just tells us to listen to stuff. And he would, once it got to the 2000s, he'd do like vinyl rips and put it into an MP3 mix, you know, chuck it on a USB. Still didn't have an MP3 player or anything like that, but you could play it off the computer. So yeah, but look, the whole family's very musical. So like, my dad's a music teacher, or he was a music teacher. Now he does like assessment. You know what I mean? Does like exams and shit like that. And yeah, he played piano, but that's his main thing. He can sort of play whatever he wants to. Bit of a multi-instrumentalist type guy. And my sister's a singer. And she actually, I think she's the only one who really makes a decent amount of money full time.
She's a professional.
Yeah, she's a professional musician.
In what capacity do you, like, are we talking like session musos, or she does gigs, or?
She's gone from a lot of different things, and you know, but yeah, it's just what she's able to sort of get steady work from doing. So she's been session singer. She did it in America. a little bit when she was like in her 20s. And actually, I don't really know too much. I have to ask her. Sorry if I'm cooking this, this information.
This is the older. She's a fair bit older as well.
Yeah, they're around the same age. They got the same mum.
Uh-huh. But you've all got the musical dad, which that music thing carries on.
Yeah. And then my mum's an art teacher, so
there you
music teacher, art teacher.
Man, for someone who's creative, you couldn't ask for. You got a music teacher and an art teacher. So that's just bang. So was she, when you started doing your graph and started drawing your unusual drawings, was she down with that? Was she like encouraging you?
I wouldn't say encourage. She like the drawings and stuff, like general art. Yeah, she was very encouraging of it. She took me like art class stuff. It's like sort of community centre art class sort of things you take your kid to when I was a little kid. Since the graph, maybe she wasn't so supportive of. I would say that.
Yeah.
She understood why I was doing it, I guess.
The psychology behind graffiti is a real interesting one because everyone does it for a different reason. What was your motivation?
Who fucking know? I don't know.
You don't know?
I felt compelled to do it.
Uh-huh.
I saw it and I was like, I think I would like to do that. Yeah, I think I'd like to give it a shot. And then you do it. It's graffiti's an interesting thing, man. I said it before, but like, society's going to tell you, all right, you do this shit, you're a fucking scum, You're a net, like, negative to society. You're costing money. You're making it look shit. And then the older fucking dudes that do the graffiti, they're going to call you a shit cunt for 3 or 4 years, take your paint and stuff like that. So really, there's no support. You really have to be a fucking nutcase to keep doing it. Yeah, you got to be insane. So
yeah, man, and I'm super interested in it because everyone has different motivation, but it is a thankless thing to start out at.
Yeah,
And
it's like I think the only thing that you really get out of it later on in life is if you make a name for yourself, you can sell like canvases or whatever, or like. Other than that, you get to say that you did at one point do this thing. Like, what I mean? Yeah. I used to skate. I can't do it anymore because my back's fucked up, right?
Uh-huh.
It's not really like, didn't get me anything in the long run, though.
No.
I can say I used to skate.
I think it's interesting.
Not that fucking cool.
With the graph stuff, though, man, it's interesting because some people say, I did it because it stopped me doing worse shit. Or some people say, I did it because it made me feel good about myself or it was an escape. Like, everyone has their different motivation.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably true at some level. I can't clearly see any of my motivations when I was like a teenager.
Mm-hmm. Or it was just an artistic expression for you. That was how you did it.
I think I was just fucking bored.
Uh-huh.
Like, there's no streaming then.
Yep.
You got to watch what was on TV. If you didn't like it, you went outside.
Uh-huh.
And that wasn't that long ago, folks. Just letting you know.
It wasn't. It was like 20... Yeah, because... man, YouTube's been around for like, I think, 20 years now. But but for the start of YouTube, man, you weren't just like streaming videos. You could watch like a 30-second clip and that was it,
Yeah, you watch someone getting hit in the balls.
That was it.
That was YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, we uploaded those back in the day. A guy gets hit in the nuts and it's just you kicking your friend in the testicles.
Yeah, but it's classic.
Yeah, and then he'd kick you off the adventure playground. It's fucking fun. But yeah, now it is. It's series and monetization and ads and stuff like that. But I don't know. Look, I don't really watch that much anymore. I used to watch a lot of movies because I worked at a video shop. Also, one of probably the last generation that's going to have done that, unless you live out country way.
Yeah.
But
was it a chain video shop? Or
Video Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, they held on for a long time, didn't they?
They did, yeah. I don't know how, honestly. They fucking fired me in like 2006.
2006. It would have been on the way out, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think I still had a few more years going. But people think the video shop would have been kind of a cool job because they're like, you just get to watch anything. But the videos you had to watch a promotional DVD that would get sent there every month. So you'd be watching the trailer for Herbie Fully Loaded. You'd be listening to the tie-in single by Lindsay Lohan for Herbie Fully Loaded once an hour on the hour. Yeah. There's enough to drive you fucking mental.
But did you get to take home cool posters? Did you get to sample some of the VHSs or DVDs?
No posters. DVDs I stole some, yeah. But that's about it. I think I stole one Xbox game from there as well. I stole a lot of those Maxibon ice cream sandwiches. I think that's why I got fired eventually, because they just looked back and they were just like, this kid's fucking he's eating like $25 worth of ice cream this week. We're gonna get rid of him.
The whole video shop. So that helped push you into art though, like it's
the visual stuff in movies. I think like a lot of the shit that I paint is from movies. Like my favourite thing that I painted is from City of God. Mm-hmm. It's like the only painting I'm not selling it. Anyone watching, I'm not selling that one. That's mine.
That's yours.
Yeah. That's the only one I won't sell. So I'll sell the painting of me before I sell that. Honestly, fuck that.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm. So when you're doing that, are you starting to mess around with making music though at that age?
Music I started like, let me see. My dad like has like the keyboards and shit because he's a piano player. I started making beats in probably at the same time I started doing graffiti, but very rudimentary, right? Uh-huh. You get the keyboard, and the keyboard has like a couple of drum keys, and you've just got a tape record, just recording ambient noise room as well, and you're just going ding 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 ding. You record that for a bit, and then you put that into a tape recorder over here, and you put another tape in there, and then you fucking. So yeah, what you would end up with is like a very basic tape of you playing keyboard beats out with 2 times ambient room noise, just doubling up on a tape. So it sounded like shit, but
in a good way?
No, not at all. No, like really bad. Yeah.
Right. And so did your dad? Did he say, "All right, if you're going to do that, I've got some more equipment. I can help you," or did he just let you do your own thing?
Yeah, he just let us do my own thing, man. No offense to that, but he just doesn't fuck with rap music at all. Right, so I was just like, this is the type of stuff is I'll make it. And he's just like, right, I'll never ask you about what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He just doesn't give a shit. Yeah.
But he's a bit older as well.
Yeah, he's a bit older, and he's sort of, he's that old that he's playing in a blues band, you know what I mean? You can't show rap to a blues man. It's fucking just going to make him angry. And it did, yeah. Anyway.
But you could have sampled his blues records and stuff.
Well, I could have, but then he hit me with litigation. No, I'm just joking. No, he's not got anything like on record or anything. I have tried to get him to play some piano to sample just off of a field recording type of bullshit, but there's never really that good audio quality. And to actually wrangle him to get him in the studio, I don't think I could do it.
Right.
Yeah.
But so he must be at least kind of happy that you're doing something musical, even if it's not his kind of taste. You know?
He likes the art more. Yeah. He appreciates it. Because, look, he can make music, but he can't paint. So he sees that and he's like, fuck, that's amazing, son. Bloody hell. I would never. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, if he could do it, I don't know if he really respects it that much.
Okay.
And so if he already is at a point where he doesn't really respect rap that much, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just... Do
you play him your shit?
Yeah, it's like sometimes, but I think like maybe because I'll get a bit fucking musical elitist a bit sometimes. You know, I'll be like, this is shit, that's shit. I think I get it from him, bro. I'm just fucking slowly turning. I'm going to get older and grumpier, and then by the time that they're showing us like fucking trap, 7.0 in 2060, I'm just going to be tuned out. Yeah. And I'll be like, fuck these kids.
But it's funny though, man. Some people, as they get older, they get more grumpy and more like, nah, don't fuck with that stuff. And some people become more accepting, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean...
I've become more accepting as I've got older, personally, but everyone's different.
Well, because when he was teaching, he had another guy who was running the department with, and that guy was listening to shit that I was listening to. So he kept up. He's just liked... But it's because he had interest in... new recording technology and stuff. And he's like, oh, fucking, this is a different type of synth that I've never heard before, So that would keep him current in his interests.
Yeah. Which it is. There's two different kinds of people when it comes to music and technology. There are people that want to stay on top of it, and the other people that go, this is my time that I experienced music and I liked it there, and I'm not fucking with anything else. You know?
And people get with like, fashion as well.
Yeah.
You can get stuck on anything that you like if you like it enough, and you just fucking hate change. You know?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to... No, I probably haven't been in a KFC in like 2 years, but last time I was in there, I looked at the screen where they were playing like the music off of Channel V or whatever. I'm like, I do not know any of these fucking people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, who the fuck is Dua Lipa? I don't know, you know?
Yeah, I know. But and that's the thing though, man. Like with the internet, you don't have to just consume the mainstream music. When we were young, you had to because you didn't have a choice. Now,
and that sucked.
Yeah. But luckily for you, man, I didn't have any older brothers or sisters or anything for them to school me. So at least you had that, you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, that was definitely good. But I don't know. It's just fucking. You just do get sick of things. Maybe you go through periods where you're just not enthusiastic, and because I had this happen to me already, where I'm just like, I don't think I'm fucking making any more rap music, mate. I think I might just pack it in. Like 5 years ago.
Yep.
And that didn't last, did it? You know? So,
Was it in you?
No, I think it was COVID, man. I was just so bored that I'm like, well, I might as well try and make that album. And then I made it. And, well, that took like fucking 4 years. But let's not get into my work rate at the moment. It's pretty horrendous.
Well, let's talk a bit about the graph. Obviously, you can't talk too much about it, but can you talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, you've had more fucking... people who've done more interesting stuff in that field on your podcast before, but yeah, we'll talk about that if you want.
Yeah, so let's talk about when you started. You said that you were toying like everyone was.
Oh yeah.
But then, did you see yourself progressing? Was it fun to like fucking see yourself get better?
Yeah, it was fun once I moved on to pacing. Once I got to pacing, then there seemed to be a lot more room for like development or like just fucking just putting in new little bits and pieces. Like all the little bits of arrows, just stuff like that. You try and figure out, instead of just putting them in as awkwardly as possible, you figure out how to fucking throw some direction into the letters or, yeah, just stuff like that. So once I actually decided to try and draw a sketch before I painted it, I think that was probably a big step because I was just going to a wall and just being, I'll make it up on the spot, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. So yeah, just like I don't have many pieces still up, I don't think, but like actually there are some, but they're just kind of like fucking circumstantially because of like railway updates. They chose to keep the existing like stuff that was on the track sides.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one that's still up. I don't know, man. I just got into it because I was bored. You know what I even did? I even did stencils. Right. You remember when everyone was like, stencils are whack? I kind of got like into the idea of like easily replicating an image over and over. Mm-hmm. I even did a couple of those.
What was the subject matter?
It was all people from Star Wars. Uh-huh. It was all just stills from Star Wars.
Which is cool. Yeah,
and I put them on the corners, like the bottom corner or the top corner of building or something like that. And then I think the first one I ever did was, that game Jet Set Radio Future. Uh-huh. There's like the DJ from that with the crazy hair. I think I just did a stencil of him and put that on the corner of like, this is the corner of the building on my street that I grew up on. Just very, maybe 5 houses down. It wasn't a big mission, but, that was the first stencil I ever did. That was fun. I don't know what the first piece I ever did was probably like 2000-ish, and it would have looked like a fucking nightmare, and it definitely would have been done with all exports. Not even like adjusting the chisels, just doing it terrible. So yeah, just
But you got to start somewhere, man.
Yeah, and just constantly switching up the fucking name throughout like primary school and high school, not because of any hate, just because I got sick of the fucking names that I've made for myself.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's part of the process as well, finding the letters that you like and all that sort of shit.
Yeah. Like now I got like fucking, my rap name is just like a horrifying mishmash of bad letters for a piece. So
where did you pull the name from, though, man? Because it is interesting.
I only actually revealed this like a few weeks ago to Fluey. Because Flu was asking about like, where did you fucking get that name from anyway? I was at my mate's place one time, and he's like, "Oh, I got this movie, Johnny Mnemonic. You want to watch it?" I'm like, "Oh, Johnny Mnemonic." He's like, "Oh, it's good." I'm like, "Nah, it's not good. It is funny though."
It's River Phoenix, yeah.
No, it's Keanu Reeves.
Oh, Keanu Reeves, yeah.
And it's a lot of navigating cyberspace with
Yeah.
all that shit that they used to do in the late 90s. So it's pretty funny. But yeah, I just crashed out and I woke up and there's a bit where there's a dolphin in a tank, named Jones, and he's like a cybernetic ex-military dolphin who they've implanted stuff in, and he's like got like a severe drug addiction. And it's just kind of like an interesting thing, and it's like it said that he came to prominence as like a whatever, the best at his business in like 2020. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I changed my name to that in 2020 to try and like. But yeah, I just woke up and I was kind of just like, ooh, that's a bit weird. And then I don't know. Sometimes if you're half asleep, you see something, it just like sticks in your brain. It keeps going around and around and around. And I was like, that is a fucking sharp name, mate. I've had the old one, since I was a kid. I chose it as a kid. I didn't think it necessarily still represented. Anyway, so changed to Dolphin Jones. Dolphin Jones is much more successful than him, though.
Right.
Yeah, he was not successful at all.
He was not successful?
No, that's not true, actually. He did, like, fucking... Well, speaking of mantra, that connection came in handy later on in, like, 2010, where I had the first thing I ever put out, or got put out, I guess, was Flight Path by Mantra.
Yep.
So I think that was 2011. And that got released through Obese,
Yeah, right.
So I'd always, like, as a teenager, wanted to have anything come out through Obese, even if it was just like a produced track on someone else's album. And I got in there right at the last minute, man. Just managed to get it done.
How did that come about?
He was doing a workshop that he got me involved in, where it was for like juvenile detainees, and it was about like doing like they like the rap workshops basically. There's very few things that you could get like kids to engage, especially if they're like kids who are going around doing like gang fuckery and stuff like that. But rap is there's something that everyone kind of thinks is cool, and they'll be willing to like take some time to like put in. Anyway, he I think I was like fucking 16 at the time, so I couldn't be like actually involved in it. But he's like, "Oh, I want to get you some coin. Can you like make us a disc of the beats that you've been making, and I'll use them for this workshop." And
were you rapping at that time, or were you just making beats?
I was rapping as well. Yeah, I was rapping as well. I was always just kind of fucking around with everything, like breakdancing as well, all the stuff. Like once I figured out what it was, I'm like, I'll do all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, what was I saying?
Just about how you got hooked up with that record came out on Obese.
Oh, yeah, so he goes, I'm going to hook you up with like $150 of this government money to like make a CD, and I'll use the beats for this workshop that I'm doing. And so I put like, I think like 20 beats on there, and one of them was the beat for Flight Path. And I'll catch him, like when there's, going on these gigs and stuff like that, he'd be walking around, fucking whistling it.
This is Mantra.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, it's fucking stuck in your head. You're going to use it, mate. I'm telling you. And yeah, he did.
Right. And so this is 2010, you're saying?
2006, I'll give him the CD. And 2010 or 2011, I'll just fucking look it up. This Mantra Power of the Spoken was the album. Okay,
Man, I reckon I've got it over here.
Oh, yeah, for real. So yeah, there we go. I'm not going to open it, but I believe it is 2010. There you go, Flight Path.
There you go.
So if you go and look that up, if you want to know what my old name was, guess what you got to do? Get on Discogs, motherfucker.
And that's it there. So, and that, man, to be honest, 2010, that would have been like the peak of Mantra's, like, fucking...
Yeah,
he was big, man.
He was, because that was, well, the hype couldn't have been bigger, I don't think, because he was like a really fucking well-respected, like, looked forward to live act, and everyone was like, "Where's the album, mate? When's the album coming?" And he had done an album in the form of the Illzilla one. That was more of like a band thing. They wanted a solo one of him rapping over production.
Yep.
So, you know, it takes time to find the best producers.
So you had the one track on that?
Yeah, just one track. I think it was... it doesn't actually have the credits. I'm just trying to remember. I reckon it's Mr. Savona, M Phases. I can't remember this guy's name, but he was actually probably one of the sickest. I'm sorry, man. M Phases, me.
Are you credited?
Yeah. But look, it's on the inside. I don't want to open this up. You want to keep that sealed, mate. I'll send you a screenshot when I get back.
Yeah, sick. But that must have given you a kick up the arse. Like, fuck, I'm feeling like this is, you know.
You'd think so. Somewhere. Yeah, you'd think so.
It didn't.
Motivation doesn't last very long for me.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So, like, probably for about 2 days, and then I was back to being like, oh, what's next? And the answer was nothing was next because I didn't know any other rappers that were linked up in that way. So, yeah, it's kind of like, I guess I'll just keep making beats. Because to be honest, those good beats that I made back in the day are sort of fucking flukes, mate, you know? The way that you don't necessarily know what you're doing, but you might get something good out of it anyway.
But
made
that's how it happens though, man. Like, you talk like like with Public Enemy, with the Bomb Squad, they just throw sounds together and see what sticks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's a way to make stuff. You know.
I heard how they make stuff in their studio sessions. I'm like, that sounds fucking like so much hard drive space. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But they didn't have hard drive back then.
So when you get that beat on Mantra's record, what are you using to produce it?
That was just on like my mum's Department of Education and Training laptop.
With cracked FL Studio or something.
Cracked Acid Pro, even better.
Acid Pro, man.
Yeah.
I used to love that. When I first got into, like, we're talking late 90s, early 2000s, Acid Pro, and then they sold it to Sony or something, and then they fucked it.
Yeah, it might have even been Acid Express, the freeware version that I made that on. So, you know, you can make stuff on whatever. But yeah, now I'm trying to use the MPC. It's fucking... If you know anyone who's got an MPC 2000 XL PCB in Australia, so I don't have to pay a trade tariff, please tell me. That's just for the audience.
Yeah. What, someone wants to sell one?
I need one because mine is fucked in a way where I've tried fixing it and it is only able to fix 1 or 2 tact switches on the PCB at a time. I don't know if anyone's going to understand what the fuck I'm talking about.
There's a dude called the MPC Doctor, isn't he, that fixes all that shit?
Is he in Australia?
I think so.
I don't need it fixed. I just need the part.
You need the part?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a real fuck. I don't need to do anything really. I just need to unsolder the jog wheel and reinstall that. Then the rest is just clips.
Yeah. I'm sure you can do it, man.
Yeah. I like pulling stuff apart. It's fun.
Man, I used to love pulling stuff apart. I'm just not very good at putting it back together.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have a look through those tape bands and stuff and see if there's anything that might fit any of these boom boxes up here, because I reckon half of them will still be in working order with functioning bands.
Could you resolder a 1200 RCA?
Yeah.
Have you done that before?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is like an RCA lead.
Yeah.
Or is it the input?
Yeah, so I've got one there, and the RCAs are fucked, all right?
Yeah.
And I looked up how to do it, and I'm like, nah, I can't do that.
If it's just like the input, easy. You can even switch it out and get another one, you know what I mean? It's a very standard part, yeah. It just depends on, like, the connectors. This is fucking very... This is not interesting podcasting. If it's got pins that go down like that or pins that go through like that and then the things on the top side, that's the only real differences between, like...
Okay.
Yeah, but they're fairly standardised.
There you go. We're getting into the technical stuff then. All right, so let's talk about your... So 2010, that comes out. It doesn't motivate you.
It does for a while, but then I don't really do very much. You know, like, I'm 19, 20, something like that. I just don't care very much about the future. So I did a thing, and people said I was cool for it, and for that period of time, that was enough. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to coast on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
So, which is definitely like a 19-year-old, 20-year-old mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then you don't get that motivation. All right, this is the jumping off point. You're like, did it?
No, it's just kind of like, well, I'm done with high school. I'm out and about in the world. I've got this song that's on the radio, but only people who know it's me is people that I've personally told because I'm the producer of it, right? So I'm like, it's like, oh, you're kind of famous with your group of friends, but like, you know, not really give a fuck. And I don't know, man. It didn't seem like at that time producers were as sought after as they are now. Or people aren't necessarily trying to find, like, because I see, like, fucking rappers that I love, man. They're going through and finding just the most obscure people to get beats from just because they want something really good. At this period in time, you would get an M-Phases beat. No, that's it. You get an M-Phases beat. That's it. And that was pretty much your only course of action. Everyone else was kind of like not really considered to be a viable option. If you wanted to get somewhere with the music, it seemed at the time the only way to do it was with the M-Phases beat.
Well, yeah, and at that point in time, he had a lot of songs on the radio with rappers, but he also had, I think Talib Kweli picked up one of his beats and put it on an album, so he was, from an Australian standpoint, he was the top dude.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like everyone will cop a beat, you know what I mean? Not all the beats were of the same, like, quality.
But it had his name attached.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, it was the first time where I'd seen something where it's like you would, a cosign, if you will. You know, you're trying to get a name attached to something that you've made in order to increase the weight of it, rather than just to make the best song possible.
Yeah, and let's be honest, then the Triple J were playing a lot of obese shit.
That's the only thing they were playing in terms of Australian hip hop. They
much.
might maybe if they felt charitable playing elephant tracks.
The one dayers and that sort of stuff, they definitely got a lot of love on there as well.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about how popular Horror Show was.
Huge, man.
They're kind of dissolved, right?
I think one of them may have had some. I think maybe their partner passed away, and then I'm not sure. I think something like that happened, and they don't make as much music. I'm not quite sure. I think something like that. I probably shouldn't say that if I don't know exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's, grain of salt. I know that the guy who made the beats was managing Spanion for a while.
At it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. For the time when he was putting out his book.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the management for him.
And that book got pulled, man.
Yeah, so those books are worth something, eh?
It goes for like $700 now.
Yeah.
So 24 Karat Kev co-wrote that book with him.
I think 24 Karat Kev wrote it. I think Spanion said a bunch of stuff or possibly sent him voicemails. Yeah. And then 24 Karat Kev, put on the headphones with fucking Gene Hackman in the conversation, just like, hectic. Wow. We love the Spanion, but just having to transcribe, like, his speech patterns would be fucking hectic.
Have you seen that guy who does the impersonation of him? Fuck, that's good, man.
Yeah, no, it is like, and it's just enthusiasm, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's not that deep. Like, Spaniard's just like, bro, that's hectic, right? You watch Carney, Carney Classics?
Yeah.
He's like the same sort of thing, it's just slight different, better diction. That is actually hectic, bro. That is actually, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Same words. I don't have it. Some people are good as influencers online. They'll be like, hey guys, I just don't give a fuck. People can tell. It's a curse.
Well, man, it's a skill to do that stuff though, to talk to nobody. It's very hard.
Yeah.
And the people that
I tried making reels.
Yeah, people that do it now, they do a good job, but it's hard, man. I can talk to people. Talking to myself, that's fucking tough. Props to people that can do it.
I did a reel where I was trying to get people to go to a gig, so I talked to the camera, I put on a bunch of fucking stupid masks and stuff and pretended to be characters. It's difficult to convince yourself that that's a good idea while you're doing it. And you're just sitting in a shed at like 2 a.m, just being like, what am I going to do? Like a fucking a voice now and pretend to be some guy and be like, oh, you best be coming down to my gig tomorrow night, otherwise I'll be terribly disappointed. You know, it's just...
You do that really well, man.
I do voices sometimes, man. I said I wasn't going to do that, actually.
Nah. What? You got the Irish one dialed.
I had a conversation yesterday with someone and they said, you probably shouldn't do a bunch of voices because then people will get annoyed at you.
No, I like it. This is the best thing about doing this stuff, man. You get to see people really what they're like without just, you know what I mean? It's great. Yeah. So many people will watch this shit and they say to me, dude, I knew that guy for 20 years. I didn't know this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For not just you, but for everybody.
Well, how well did you know him, really?
Yeah. So let's talk about... I love the tangent, so man. But let's talk about the art, because you, besides the music, you're doing art as well, right?
Yeah, I'm a pretty keen painter.
And so tell us about how would you describe your art to someone who can't visibly see it?
Oh, shit. Probably wouldn't. But if I like gun to my head, gun to my dick, I would say that it is pretty good. No, I don't know, man. It's art. Like, you got to look at it. I do a lot of portraits. I think that's the easiest way to explain. I do a lot of portraits. I don't do landscapes really or anything like that. I'm not a Bob Ross. But I do love Bob Ross. I just, respect him so much I won't even go near his territory. I do portraits of people. I do album covers. I do fucking some trippy stuff. I don't know, man.
Whatever. And where does the motivation come from? You just see something that's cool and you're like, okay, that's got to...
Boredom, yeah.
Boredom.
It's always boredom. It's like wanting to sort of, keep busy or do something productive. I don't play video games. I think that's a big thing.
I think that's, man, I don't either, right?
Yeah.
And I think... When I know people, they're like, I'm a gamer. I'm like, where the fuck do you find the time to do this shit? I have no idea.
I don't have the time to do the dishes and also the work that I'm supposed to do later that afternoon. So, I don't know. They must be living in a different time stream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe they got some sort of TARDIS technology. Who knows?
Don't know. Man, it's people I know that even have kids and they're like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go play some video games. I'm like, where the fuck do you find that free time? Anyway.
If you like something, you'll find time to do it.
It's true, but I guess I just think of that, and this is kind of me being pretty pessimistic, but I'm like, that's just a wasted time to me that you could be creating something or doing something more meaningful. Are you ever going to remember that time you beat that boss in fucking whatever game you're playing?
I do. I try not to be too huge because a lot of my mates play video games, right? But yes, I do feel that way about it for myself. I don't want to be doing it because it just seems like sunken time.
Yeah, I feel guilty like this time could have been better used. But I guess everyone chills out differently. I do waste a lot of time watching games of sport that I probably don't remember. Maybe that's my way, that's my way of wasting some time.
Well, yeah, that's another thing is I do not watch sport at all.
Uh-huh.
Fucking boring to me. Really boring.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just can't everyone in my family, they all like watching sport. It's probably why I hate it so much. It's inescapable.
Yeah.
Also, Collingwood fans, I had to spend a fair time in the Collingwood section, seeing assaults and shit. So
there's been a lot of punch holes at the footy lately. Man.
Yeah, it's coming back. It's coming back. I guess I don't know.
People get angry, man. And I think what that shows...
Over what?
I think that shows that the society is... When people are fighting at the footy, it shows that there's a problem with society in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If people are angry, they probably don't have as much coin. They're stressed. It's,
They're fighting each other because they just figure out how much the fucking plastic cups of beer are.
They're expensive.
Fucking what?
Yeah. Obviously, you like your greenery, but do you drink?
I do drink, yeah. Not as much as I used to. But, yeah, I like... what do you like, drink?
I drink beer, man, which is my vice. I don't smoke weed. I don't take drugs. I drink beer.
Yeah.
But, man, yesterday I signed up for Dry July, so I'm going to do that next month.
Oh, nice.
Not drink anything.
I did that once.
Yeah.
Surprisingly easy, actually.
Did you find when I did it? I found that I was eating more shit food because I was trying to replace the chocolate. I was eating like chocolate, which I'd never eat because I'm trying to replace the sugar or something.
Nah, I'll get like drinking is say if you like smoke weed and you get like the munchies or whatever. It never really happened, but if I get drunk, I'm like fucking destroying food.
That's a problem for people, man. Like I know other people that like I don't get like that because I'm not a huge food guy, but I know people like, man, drinking's not my problem. It's eating a whole pizza afterwards or whatever. That's not me.
No, I got that. That's I like that. I don't know, something about the. It's probably just the fucking body sending chemicals out of your brain. Just be like, you need to fucking layer this, man. There's booze is hitting your stomach. I drink whiskey as well usually, so like it's if you drink too much of it in an empty stomach, you really get the urge to fucking smash a pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I've been doing the intermittent fasting thing, man, as well. Like, I haven't eaten today. I probably won't eat till like 3 o'clock. I eat a few things, and then it's like help me lose weight. My missus is off it. She's like, you got to eat more, but I'm not a big food dude. You know what I mean?
I made a post though before coming here, and it was just like shit to remember to bring, like fucking USB with the beats on and stuff. And one of the notes is just eat food.
Yeah.
Because I don't like. I'll get to 5, 6 o'clock. I just haven't eaten anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I just forget.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm one of those people that again as well. I'll just keep doing my day and forget to fucking eat. Also, you know what I mean? That just happens. You just get caught up in what you got to do.
I don't get hungry, so look, I've sort of tried to hack it basically by in the morning. I get up and I do me boxing, my exercises or whatever, but I have just a big smoothie before that. So I just chuck in like 2 bananas, yogurt, like honey, peanut butter for fucking extra protein or whatever.
Right.
It sounds like it might not go, but it's actually pretty good with the peanut butter in the smoothie.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like chug one of those, and it sort of like tricks my system into running on something, but I didn't actually have to eat. I just drank it.
Yeah, but that's giving your body something though.
Yeah, it's bad because I've been doing the exercising in the mornings every morning now, trying to stick to some sort of routine, and I can't do it on an empty stomach.
Do you find it hard to get the motivation when it's this fucking cold though? I do, man. I
prefer it when it's this cold.
Really?
Yeah, because like it's work. I'm doing it in a shed, so it's worse when it's hot.
Uh-huh.
You know
oh yeah. I have seen you post about that. You're like, fuck, it's hot in here today, but I'm still hitting the back.
Yeah, it was like a few months ago. It was pretty brutal. Now it's like I just fucking wear a couple of hoodies and I'm sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the same shed as your studio setup?
Yeah, so it's like over here is like your boxing bag, and I got a foosball table, but no ball. Yeah. And then over here you got like I'll show you that photo before. That's like my music space. Far end is like where all the art supplies and shit are. So it's a pretty long. It's probably maybe like narrower than this space, but a bit longer. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, comparable size.
It's nice, yeah. It's good to have a space to go to and just be creative though as well, like what you do. You know what I mean?
Well, I used to, like, the entire time when I was doing this shit, I just had a bedroom studio. So, like, the place where I slept was the same place where I was working.
I think that's counterproductive, man.
Yeah, I told because Baylor,
I
used to have a little spot in his studio, like, before it had to close down. But I told him, like, the reason why I wanted the spot is because he's like, I'm just doing that. I'm like sleeping and working in the same room. He's like, you got to cut that shit out immediately, man. That's like the worst thing you can do for your whole fucking, like, is like the sleep patterns and shit like that.
Uh-huh.
And then he just told me to have like matcha instead of coffee and stuff. But I didn't try that, but yeah.
Yeah. So this is when it was on Commercial Road there.
Yeah. The Let's Pretend gallery. Yeah. I was much like Obese Records. I got in at the very fucking end, and then it was over. So that's And
that was just opposite sort of where the Obese ended up, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was interesting because you could walk down past the shops and you can see the piece that's still on the back of that wall. There's still a sort of
still there. I was talking. Do you know? I'm pretty sure
sort of
Carl
like a powder blue.
Yeah.
Obese. Yeah.
I was saying someone needs to take that down and put it to a good home before it gets painted over.
Brick by brick, just fucking.
No, it's on like a tin.
Oh, for real?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
right. So yeah,
someone does need to do that.
But I think I think Carl painted that. So if someone does take it, maybe give him first preference. But
yeah, just give him a message and say I've done the Lord's work, and just don't implicate me or Maloney anymore.
But what worries me about it is somebody who doesn't understand the significance of that is just going to paint over it.
Yes.
But the catch-22 is if you ask the landlord, can we have that? They will say no. And then when it goes missing, they're like, oh, this can't ask to fucking have it.
Yeah. Or they might even be like, oh, it's worth something, is it?
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. And the thing is, stuff like that, it's not really worth anything monetarily. It's worth something culturally.
It's worth as much as as it's the value that you put. For whatever reason, I used to have, there was a shed that I had stuff in. It was like a bit of a studio. And there was the H from the Hoyt sign, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that doesn't, it's just fucking 10-foot tall letter H that doesn't have any sort of monetary value. But it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know where it came from.
The thing is, though, with that, I just don't want whoever owns it to paint over it and then disappears. I just much rather somebody hang it up in their house or in their fucking office or in their wherever, so it doesn't just disappear.
Yeah.
Ever. Like someone can appreciate it. That'd be the plan.
I think that is a good plan, and someone should carry it out.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take a piss, man. You all good?
No, it's right.
A few weeks ago, everyone was making these fucking AI plastic-looking figurines,
They
right?
were. They're little vanity action figures.
They were making action figures of themselves. Now, you actually physically made one that exists in real life.
I should have brought it,
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you to, but I thought maybe you would have thought about it. But anyway.
Nah, I don't think these things through.
So
I wrote, put beats on a USB and
Which you
eat
did.
food on a post-it note before I came here, man. I'm not thinking that far.
and while we're on that, before so I don't forget.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to end
You know
up.
the fucking shit is. I've been to like 3 gigs recently, and every single person had the exact same USB stick.
You got to be, yeah. That's why you got to name them as well.
I usually just keep my keys on them.
Yeah. So tell us about making that physical figure. It was something kind of cool because tell us about that, like the idea.
With the breakdown, like the actual behind the scenes stuff, right? So I guess the first bit of exclusive information is that it is built off of a Lionel Hutz action figure.
Really?
Yeah. So I had that first, and I put blue tack all over it and sort of made, I guess, like a rudimentary version of my own face, but then it's just painted onto blue tack. So it will break down eventually. It's up on my wall now, but I'm thinking about maybe trying to cast it. I talked to DJ Relic.
Yep.
Who is, he does a bit of that stuff. He's got if you follow his page, Scum Wars, on Instagram, he makes like speaker head box action figures, and stuff like that.
I didn't know he did that.
Yeah, he does.
Again, where does he find the time?
I don't know, actually.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's got a pretty fucking hectic schedule in between DJing for every second person.
Everybody, pretty much,
and
man.
like fucking judging the DMCs and shit,
Yeah, he made the intro track for this podcast as well.
For real? Sick. I actually got to rap on one of his beats not that long ago for like a cypher.
Yeah.
That was good. I wanted to impress him, But yeah, so I think I might make a mould of that based on his advice. And then, just see if I can make a more permanent version of the action figure, because it did turn out a lot better than I thought.
Would you do, if people hit you up and commissioned you to do one of them, would you do it?
Yes, I would. I would do it for money, basically. If there's a thing that I can do creatively and someone's going to pay me for it, the answer is just I will do that, unless I hate them.
But
That's the only caveat. There are some people who I probably wouldn't do stuff for because I hate them.
But they probably know you dislike them already anyway, so they're not going to hit you up.
Big time, they know.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So if somebody wants something creative, they can commission you to do that or paint something. Didn't you design for the Posse Shot guys for the tram? You did a painting of that for them or something?
It wasn't for them. It was just because I thought, It's pretty big, you know what I mean? Like, if you go to the website where they have the current advertising trams of that model, I think it's like Virgin, like fucking Sony, Paramount Plus.
Yeah, we're talking big time.
And then Posse Shot.
Yeah.
You know? And it's very funny. I think I posted that. I took a screenshot of like the website, but it's just like, this is a pretty big thing to have this amount of money sunk into something mid-Melbourne hip-hop. It's kind of like unprecedented.
It is.
I've never seen it.
Nah.
A lot of people were saying, man, come on, that ain't hip-hop, do a fucking piece. But it's just like, well, they're spending money on advertising. It's not the same thing. But yeah, it was, so I liked it. I thought it was sick. I did a painting of it, just, just across, just the fucking side view of it. And people liked it, so I just did a giveaway. And the giveaway was pretty successful, actually. So, yeah.
Did you give one to the guys?
Nah, but they sent me a pair of shoes.
Oh, that's all right. That's nice of them.
Yeah, they sent me a pair of Nikes.
The pink or the green ones?
The green ones.
They look like pretty hectic shoes, man.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, I might resell them because I haven't worn them yet. They're just not my steez. But thank you very much for sending them. And if anyone wants a 12.5, hit us up.
That's a big shoe, man.
Yeah. I just fucking.
So then, aside from
gotta fit the foot.
Yeah. So aside from the art like that stuff, you're back doing music again, right? After a fair hiatus.
Yeah. Basically, I put out my first solo album about a year and a month ago. And I did fuck all to promote it. So I have just started doing the promotion now.
Better late than never.
Yeah, I'm not, everything I do, I might do just slightly different, but it'll get there. So yeah, I did a couple of reels and shit. I'm gonna get some tapes made, I think, soon. It's just a bit trickier of a process than getting just standard tapes duplicated because I've got these 1977 Hitachi cassettes.
Wow.
And I want to release them as a special edition on those because they're fucking sick. 15.
Right.
So it's going to be limited. There's going to be 5 black UD90 tapes and then 10 black UD90 tapes and then 5 silver ones. But yeah. Bear with us on that. It's just the service of actually getting like a proper machine running so that I can dub the tapes myself instead of having to get it duped because they're not going to take old shells in for duplication.
Really? But that makes it cool. It's more fucking hands-on, you know what I mean?
It's very, very limited. It's like a thing where even if you just wanted to buy a blank of these, it's like $25 on eBay. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I've got some interesting blanks I found at an op shop over there, man. I should show you because I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what they. Hang on, I'll grab one.
Yeah, give us a guess.
I've got like 5 or 6 of them. I think Relic actually was like, man, these are sick, but he didn't know.
Nice save. I'm having to do some tapes for my mate as well. Gamma 60 Surtron. I've never seen these before.
Yeah, they're interesting, hey?
Oh, bit sticky there. I'm going to try the second one so I don't accidentally break the case.
Oh, it doesn't matter, man.
Well, they're all
but I don't know what, yeah. I saw them there and I'm like, these could be used for something. I don't really know what.
It's a bit of resistance. I'm not quite sure what.
Yeah.
See what I mean? I don't want to apply any more force. Are they all like this?
There
we go. Set components hand assembled in Mexico. I've never seen these before. They are fairly similar to the ones that I'm talking about.
Well, you can have one of those, man.
Oh, shit. I'll take the one that I can open. I'll show you some there, yeah. Man,
blank media, it's a funny thing though, isn't it? Like whenever I'm at op shops, not that I get a chance to go op shopping much anymore, but whenever I find any of that sort of old blank media, I just grab it, even if I don't know the application, because I'm like, it's just fucking cool, you know?
It is cool. Like I've got a fucking 8-track tape somewhere that I just got because I'm like, well, this is interesting. my ex-missus one time, we were just looking in an op shop and she's like, oh, I think I found like an Indiana Jones like record. I'm like, oh no, it's not a record, that's a laser disc. She's like, what the fuck's a laser disc? So I ended up as
That's a forgotten medium.
It's a giant CD.
Yeah. Like, but they were dual side, I think, so you could put them on. Yeah. Laser
like
discs.
the Godfather you had to take out and put it in the other side.
Laser disc, mini disc, they're the two most forgotten mediums, I feel like.
I'll get into obsolete technology a bit. I mean, you know, like fucking trying to fix stuff up and that. But mini discs, I've got a lot of them too. I've got a semi-cooked plan to release something on mini disc. Basically, as an ornament, because who the fuck's going to be able to play it?
I've got a mini disc player still.
Hey, I do too. But like, you know, we're not like normal people considering that we're just buying old, obscure, fucking outdated technology because it's cool.
Yeah. No, I've still got my original mini disc player from when I was in like high school.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, it's like
not NetMD, is it?
I think it's a Discman one, like, you know, a Sony one. Yeah.
The NetMD one was the one where you could actually you could drag and drop stuff.
Nah, I used to have to go to my nan's house who had the mini disc hi-fi system, and I could duplicate CDs on that. That's how I did it. Until someone broke into her house and stole her hi-fi system.
Yeah, that happens, you know.
But yeah, that, man, I love that old media. Like, and I need to get a VHS machine as well, because like that sort of stuff. You go to the op shops now, and like obviously records are just tapped out. Like you can't. And the you know, some of the op shop down here, man, like any record they think they're going to sell for $10, you're like, man, there's no one wants that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just being tapped out. But I think the VHSs and CDs is what I want to get into now.
VHS, the speculative market on investing, kind of ruined it the last couple of years.
Yep.
Like I got a VHS player and like my shed's just full of tapes, and that's what I watch most of the time while I'm getting work done. Which is a limited selection. But like, you know,
is that where you're getting all of your samples from?
Yeah, a lot of samples coming from there. But yeah, it's just used to be able to just go in an op shop and get like fucking mad tapes, 50 cents each of like just all like classic movies, you know.
Yeah.
You go in there, get like fucking Reservoir Dogs or something for 50 cents.
Yeah.
Space Jam, 50 cents. And then a couple of years ago, they started saying, oh, you know, it's going to be fucking valuable. VHS, it's like, it's not. It's only valuable to a person who is willing to like run and operate and maintain a fucking machine to play them. Right?
Yeah.
So they ended up all getting bought. Again, this is like the ornamental stuff I'm talking about. These are on people's mantelpieces now. They're not going to watch the tape. They're just in the house, you know? So they bought them. They thought there was going to increase in value, and they didn't, right? And get this, it's because it's a VHS.
And the quality deteriorates.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like a CD where it stays perfect. As long as you keep CDs, like, dry and, like, don't fucking throw them around the room, the quality will stay for fucking a long time.
Which you can't say that for DVDs, because DVDs are basically expiring.
Right.
They're going rotten because of the type of polyurethane that was used to encode them.
So it's totally different to the CD.
The production of it. So, like, if you have... Just say you got a DVD that's from like 2000s somewhere in your house. Go check it and see the back of the disc is like gone completely piss yellow.
Oh.
Yeah, that's death.
Right.
It's never going to work again.
Okay. I'm going to check that out. Yeah. When we're talking about beats and stuff, obviously you've made some beats for other people. You make your own beats as well. Do you fuck around with other people's beats though? Like,
Treb One.
Hey?
Treb One.
Right, okay.
Yeah, 100% Treb One. Decimator. Cogito, my DJ. Il Ferrell is making some fucking sick funk beats. Because I don't know how to make funk, you know. I tried it. Every time I tried it, turns into some sort of Run the Jewels-esque sort of sounding thing.
Right.
But, yeah, man. I mean, the main person I make music with is Treb, I think. But even though we haven't got that many joints together, it's just, like, I'm fucking very particular with beats too. So people's like, I just sent someone a message the other day just being like, hey man, thanks for sending the beats. They're too clean, sort of synth sounding for me. If you got anything filthier, send it through. And he was like, will do, man. You know what I mean? So I'm picky about it. So Treb has like fucking the exact like sound of beat that I like rapping on. Yeah. And Decimator is like a guy who just put on the label. He's a younger guy. He's just fucking hungry, you know. He sent me like 10
From
beats
Melbourne?
a day. Yeah, from Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick.
And yeah, just fucking. Who else have I been fucking having on anyone else's beats really?
Man, with
I
a lot
actually
of
don't. Yeah, I don't really.
with a lot of your tracks, they're just straight bars. And is that the way that you like? Is that just the way you like to do it for now, or is that the way you like to do it forever?
Shit at writing hooks. Yeah.
So it's not an artistic
I
choice.
just can't write a hook for shit. I'm gonna, fucking, when Coots is less busy, I'm gonna ask him what his secrets are, because I reckon he writes the best hooks in the fucking game.
Uh-huh. But man, there's other ways around that. You could get Relic on the cuts or something as well, you know?
That's true, but I've got my own DJ, so he's got to do the cuts. It's just getting him into the studio session to get it done. Hasn't happened yet. It's not necessarily his fault. It's not necessarily my fault. It's the universe's fault, right?
Okay.
That's why there's no cuts on my first album, because it just fucking happened during COVID and we were like completely separated and shit. It's just fucking what happened.
Yeah.
Jeff's got repossessed or someone.
Really? If people want beats from you, they can hit you up, but it's going to be your style, or will you fuck around with other people's style that they may want?
I will, yeah. What I've been doing recently is I'm having people, if they're like in, local in the area, I'm having them just come past the lab, just sit down and actually have a listen. Because like, I can make a beat from scratch. I'm having people bring us around samples that they think that they're like, look, I don't make beats, but I can hear something that I want this, and can you do it? So I'll do that.
Right.
Other times it's just like, I've got no shortage of beats. I've got a fuckload of them. So like, I just send people stuff that I bounce. But like rappers, they're always like, you be like, oh, this is my fucking batch of beats that I like the most. I reckon all of these are fucking heaters. And they're like, nah, I'm not feeling them. You get them come around the lab and you show them some shit that you fucking have looped up that you've halfway finished. And you play it, they're like, what the fuck, bro? Bounce that. And it's just like, I don't understand what about sounds people like, you know?
But everyone hears different shit.
Yeah, so that's why I say people got to come around to the lab and just like fucking actually. And then the other thing is, if I get a project that hasn't been bounced yet, it's just sort of not really quite finished, that's definitely not already taken by someone, because it's fucking,
Yeah.
it's like it's an idea at that point. But yeah, I don't know. It just does it different ways. I mean, like,
But you are willing to work with people.
Yeah, I send sound packs to people that are like, people that I want to work with. You will know I'll be fucking annoying you. And then, yeah, other people hit us up for beats. Just fucking, I sell them. You know what I mean? I don't sell all of them, but if people inquire, I will tell them which ones are available out of the posts. Although the fucking ones that are sold, they say sold, But yeah, just like, I'll send out like snippets of catalogues and stuff like that. It's just like, I only have one thing is like, if people want to cop beats off us, I just kind of have to. You gotta send us something if you're rapping first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
And that's like, not to be a dick or anything, but it's like two things. One, I see if you actually can rap, and two, if you say that you're a rapper but you fucking just still haven't done anything, like not even a SoundCloud join or something, it's like, it's not really that serious about it, you know?
Yeah.
And I know that because that was me. Not being judgmental, I'm being insightful.
Yeah. You're talking from experience.
Yeah, basically. So like, it's just a thing. Like you'd want to have some sort of hunger about it before hitting me up. If the success is like in your mind riding on me giving you a beat, I don't know. I'm not a fucking super producer or nothing.
You're not M-Phasers.
Yet. Yeah.
One day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll be me. I don't want to actually morph into him. No. That'd be very strange.
That'd be weird.
It would be funny to find him, track him down after having morphed into him and just stand across ominously like that, in the rain, and then fucking car goes by, you're not there anymore. Oh, that'd be sweet.
Sounds like a film clip, man.
Yeah, I think that's probably my problem. I'm too creative. I'm just such a creative boy. Just keep coming up with ideas. Nah.
I've got a whole stack of sample records over there, man, a lot. So I'm gonna give you a couple to take home, see if you can fuck around with them.
Yeah, all right. Fuck yeah. You send me a light up then?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, I bought when I was trying to do some music. We're talking 15 years ago. I bought a lot of records, and I'm like, this might have something on it. This might have something on it. And then they've sat there for ages. So I'd rather somebody who fucking actually might use them get their hands on them and have a listen, man.
I'll use them. I mean, well, I promise I'll try to.
Yeah.
I'll definitely run them through the process and see what I can get sounds out of it. Yeah, I just like making beats is the easiest thing for me. Looks fairly mindless.
Yeah.
Writing raps, you got to fucking think. Painting, you've got to keep looking at the thing that you're painting and back and making sure it fucking looks like it, you know. But making beats, I just kind of sit there and just whatever.
Comes naturally.
Yeah. It's meditative. I think that's probably why I make so many. It's why it's like by far my largest like output.
Yeah.
It's just that no one really knew I made beats for a long time because I wasn't like fucking spamming it. Started like about midway through last year, just putting up beat videos and crap like that.
Uh-huh.
And people just fucking hit us up, and now I'm doing some stuff, with some fucking people that like I grew up listening to, and now I'm like working on a project with them.
Can you tell us about any of them?
Yeah, I guess it's not like happening. But I guess it hasn't been recorded or anything. But yeah, Maloney and Phil Gektor.
Sick, man.
Pardon me. Yeah, they're just writing a bunch of stuff to me beats at the moment, and we want to do like a fucking sick project. But it's early days.
Right. So you're producing and rapping with them, or just producing?
I'm mainly producing. I'm gonna see if I can get some raps going. Like, it's no promises though. Like a lot of these beats that I've given to them are beats that I've had for years now, and still haven't written anything to them. So I mean, that fucking says something, right?
So you've written them for yourself, though?
Yeah, a lot of them I'd intended to use for my sort of second solo album, but it seems like a fucking more interesting opportunity to me than just spending, time alone in a room with no fucking feedback and no correspondence with anybody. And ultimately, this is like these people that like when I was a teenager, I'm like, fuck, those cunts are so cool. I want to be like them one day, and now I'm fucking able to do stuff with them. So it's good.
Yeah, it's sick. And Morns can write a hook, man.
He can. Maybe I'll fucking ask him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no.
Someone's got to teach me how to write a fucking hook, right? That's it. That's what's got to happen. I'm a fairly multi-skilled individual, but when it comes to that, I can't do maths. I can't write hooks.
Right. Okay. So we're putting the call out now. If someone wants to help Dolphin Jones write a hook, hit him up. Give him some fucking
hook writer
advice.
/ math tutor. I need it.
Math tutor. Yeah. You can count to 16 though, man. That works.
Yep. I just need someone to teach me about numbers. What they are, how they work, and why I've got no money oftentimes.
Why the zeros in the bank account?
Now, it's the same as that yet stuff. I'm trying that positive thinking. Well, zeros in the bank account. Now, not in phases yet.
Do you believe in that sort of manifestation stuff?
I don't. I try not to do any kind of magical thinking or manifesting stuff because it's like, if you look at what's going on in the news, it's a bit fucking crazy to think that the universe is going to tune into you and be like, you know what, you will get that new car that you wanted. With your vain fucking piece. You know what I mean?
But I think when you think about it materialistically, I think that's bad, right? Because to focus on material things is not what I would suggest people do. But you sort of did look up to Morns and Phil Gektor, and now you get to work with them. So you manifested that in a way. Yeah,
I think that maybe it's manifesting, or maybe it's just working very hard towards a goal. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing particularly like cosmic about it. It's just you raise awareness around yourself through what you do to fucking promote it or whatever, So I don't know. Destiny, stuff like this is hard to believe in.
So you're not spiritual?
Yeah, probably. I'd say I'm not very spiritual. I'm not like staunchly like, well, there's fucking nothing, when you die, there's no. I don't know. I've never died. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
So it's like all that kind of stuff. I just don't. You know what it is? I don't really trust anybody who says that they have the answers to anything.
But what about near-death experiences, though, man? Like, you go down rabbit holes on YouTube, you're going down those rabbit holes, they're fucking interesting.
Yeah. I mean, my brother, he died of hypothermia and came back to life.
Really?
Yeah.
What does he say that happens?
He has no memory of it. It's like being asleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not necessarily what people want to hear, but like I don't know. That's him.
Yeah.
He could say that story. I could only just be like, I don't know if the universe has a purpose. I don't know if there's fucking, if manifesting is real. I don't know if there's an afterlife, astral projection or whatever, astral traveling. Sounds dope.
Yeah.
Sounds too dope. You know what I'm saying? I think this might not be a thing that happens.
Yeah, I think some people are just in tune differently. Do you know what I mean? And I'm
skeptical.
Yeah, but I believe in also like I don't know the right way to say it. If you're constantly negative, you're gonna bring more negativity.
Yeah.
If you're positive, you're gonna see more sort of positive in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's like the working, trying to make something happen for yourself. Like that's positive. The negative would be like, oh, I've done all this work already and no one's fucking acknowledged me. It's just like, well, I don't know, like...
There's no shortcuts though.
Yeah, and also work that you do before things happen for you can end up like you know what I mean? Like I made a beat like fucking 5 years ago. It's only getting used now. You know what I mean? And it's making opportunities happen. Like... You can do a lot of work and then get up to a point where people start looking at your back catalogue. And it's not as though you fucking have just wasted a bunch of time and got no reward for it. You might be a bit vain if all you want is that feedback and that reward a bit and you don't necessarily like the process that much. I think if you're an artsy type of fucker, I can't even say artist, you know what I mean? If you're an artist, right, like me, right...
Self-proclaimed artist.
Yeah. It's just, it's, I don't know. It's an interesting thing, but it's difficult to find like the motivation and stuff. I kind of fell off. I don't have a point.
The thing is, though, I think, man, with making art or whatever it is, with me, this podcast is my project. The back catalogue, like you said, is important, right? If you're a musician. Make all that stuff because if something happens, people can go back. If you just have one song that you love and that you're fucking working on, you think is perfection, and then they find you, where's the back catalogue, right? So with this, I've got all these episodes. If someone finds it, they go back, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Get some numbers running up. You know what I mean? I think that's the moral of the story for creatives. Do all the work, but put it out there as well.
Yeah. And don't get trapped in like this idea that you're supposed to get some... equal or opposite. Like, don't apply physics to like creativity. It shouldn't be like, I've done this, I deserve this amount of fucking accolades from it, Like, I entered one of my fucking paintings in for a portrait prize, and it didn't make it in. Not even till like the final selection, and it's not like it was a bad painting. They just don't really want some cunt wearing Air Maxes in a bum bag, painting himself in a fine art style and then submitting it to their thing.
But art's subjective, though.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just that the people who were running that particular, like, fucking prize didn't want that.
No.
Yeah.
But like, any kind of art competition is always odd. Do you know what I mean? Because how do you measure art against each other,
I cheat. I paint portraits,
Yeah.
so it's like a picture. I did one of Danny DeVito, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not like the subjective thing of art. I go, does it look like Danny DeVito? They go, yeah, it does. We go,
there you go.
I succeeded, right?
Tick.
Basically. But yeah, that is the way to sort of get out of that trap in art, is just to actually paint with accuracy. And not that many people can. That's why you get so many I'd say one of the best things about me as an artist is that I'm online and I am not copying Basquiat, right? I'm just like a guy who does a different style of art. If you go on there, you're going to find to be honest, like 500 guys look exactly like me. They're not very good at painting, but they know how to copy someone who's already been pre-approved. And it's in a style that was new at the time, but doesn't take a lot of skill to replicate, right?
Right.
Yeah. So the criticisms come pretty fucking thick and fast about that stuff. Like every time I do post that up, they're just like whack derivative, you know?
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So like if you're able to paint things the way that they actually look, you kind of can fucking, like people can't say they're bad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they could try and like criticise you on perspective or whatever, but it's just like, no, that is in perspective. God damn it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole art word's a fucking scam, bro. Like,
It's weird.
and graffiti is the highest art form, and cunts who can't do that are just jelly, mate. They're jealous.
You reckon?
I've been saying that for years, but I do actually think that, yeah. Because, like, if you look at the stuff that I do, and people are like, ooh, that's high fucking art skill, whatever, like, you know, in the art world, I still would say that it's more difficult to do with, like, a burner.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, I think so too. Because the thing is, unless you're doing photorealism graffiti, it's all about style, right?
That's more hectic, right? I'm not sure. I can't do a portrait with a can. I won't, maybe one day, but yeah, I'm not a mural guy.
That's a different skill set.
Yeah, those guys are like, I look at them and I go, that's fucking crazy.
But it's crazy, man. Like you get someone like Jimmy, like Deviate, and he's like, man, I'm not an artist. I'm just doing this. I'm like, dude, I think people would say you are. You know what
I mean, once you've done your like 17th, like 50-foot bird on the side of a silo, maybe you are a real artist, mate. Maybe you've got things that people, we're driving through the country. Let's stop and take a picture in front of that. You know, that's art.
Yeah.
That's what art is to most people. So, I don't know. But Deviate is like, obviously like one of the fucking craziest writers, you know.
Mm-hmm. And he worked hard at it for years, man. That's the thing, just doesn't stop, and that's the moral of the story. There's no shortcuts in any of this creative shit or anything in life in general. You got to put in the yards.
Yep, when you think about when that recognition started getting handed out to him, relatively recent.
Yep.
Last like 10, 15 years. Yeah. So it is what it is, man. You just got to grind hard. I say a lot of definitive statements that people don't really like. You know, they're like, how do you get so much done? I'm like, you just got to force yourself to do it. And they're like, oh, shit. I thought it was a hack. It's like,
there's no hacks, no shortcuts.
You got to do this every once in a while. I do this so often. I'll be sitting there and the initiation is like me going, fuck, all right. And that's how I get out of the chair and I start doing shit.
Yeah.
But you have to sometimes do it physical.
Yeah, and man, that's also the thing about exercise as well, because that kind of gets you motivated and gets you out of that fucking rut straight away.
That being part of my daily routine has really just helped us like stick to anything throughout the day. Mm-hmm. Like just fucking get this work done, fucking water the plants, fucking remember this is the day that the bins go out, you know, anything. Like just clarifies it, you know.
Well, my bins go out today, thanks for reminding me.
No worries, man. I've got 2 days on them.
As we get close to wrapping things up, man, is there, if people want to work with you, or is there anything else coming up for Dolphin Jones in the future you want to tell us about, man?
Yeah, I mean, I've probably covered most of it, man. Just doing music stuff. Bloody fucking art stuff. Look, I'll do a second take of this, all right? That was fucking terrible. I'm supposed to be promoting my services. I make musics, I make beats, right? So you can hit us up if you want to have a listen to the beats. I do sell the beats, not all of them, but some of them, right? They're getting to be slightly higher demand, so people have been disappointed slightly recently when they're like, oh, is that beat still? I'm like, no. So
you got to get in quick, man.
Fucking lesson there. And the artwork services is basically, I do people's album covers mostly, but also do logo design. I do animation. Not so much recently. I do rotoscope animation. So
tell us about what's rotoscope.
It's when you animate over real footage. Right. Ralph Bakshi used to do it for that. You know that old like Lord of the Rings cartoon one? Yeah. That sort of stuff. And I also do like traditional like, you know, paper cutout like animation. Yeah. It's kind of like a complex South Park. Yeah. So
you seen Andy Boyle, he does that stuff, man.
No.
His episode, it's really interesting.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it basically. And then I rap, fucking, you know, shit, you get me for a feature on that if you want. A couple of people trying to do that recently, but I had to say no because the beat wasn't right. So there you go. I'm a fucking finicky person.
Yeah, well, man, but it's your art, and you want to lend your voice to what you want to lend your voice to.
Yeah, well, I was talking to someone recently about this, like, just sending beats, and it's just like, yeah, you know, if the beat's right, and I'm like, I get it, man, I get sent beats all the time, and it's just like the pen's just fucking frozen, doesn't move, you know? It's got to be the right one.
It's got to speak to you.
Yeah, definitely. So, it's just, yeah, the rapping, I do that the least, all right? I don't have much time for rapping at the moment. That's why the little bit that I'm doing on this podcast is such a treat. But yeah, just hit us up, man. If you're interested in getting any stees on whatever you're trying to put out, if you just want to package it a bit nicer, fucking yeah, I will rent stees to people if they want.
Okay.
And in the form of beats, I will sell the stees. Renting in the services of like making fucking logos and shit. I don't know.
I want to not rebrand, but redesign my stuff, man, because it's kind of never really got to where I wanted it to get to. So maybe we should talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you got ideas in mind, I'll work with, like, a design brief is best. But, yeah, definitely. Even if you just want some input, man.
Yeah. Dolphin Jones, man. Thanks for coming in. It's been a good chat, dude.
No, it's been fucking sick. Thank you for having us on. And, yeah, no, it's my first podcast episode.
Yeah.
Never been on one, but I've listened to a lot of your podcasts, to be honest with you.
You digging them?
Yeah, they're good. The only ones I don't really listen to are the ones with kind of like sportsy people. Like I said, I don't like sport at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of the other people like skaters, graphers, or like the hip hop people. Every episode I'll click on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good, man, because it's just you find out aspects of people you had no idea, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and look, you know, I'm painting, I have things that I like to put on in the background. Long conversations, 2 hours is perfect, you know?
Yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah.
Who would you like to see on this show that hasn't done it already?
Oh, fuck.
Put you on the spot.
Just my mates. I'm just going to shout out my mates.
Yeah, tell us.
I'd say Sixpence.
Yep.
Definitely fucking sick rapper. We're working on stuff at the moment.
Mm-hmm. I think I have spoken to him about it, but I'm not sure if we've locked in a date.
One of his joints was playing when I came in here.
Yep.
So, yeah, man, I'd say definitely get him on. He's a good bloke, good rapper, charismatic person. I reckon he'll go well on the podcast. I would say if you want a challenge, get my mate Ilfer on.
Uh-huh.
He will wear a pink balaclava the entire time and tell you no personal details, but, you know, he's funny. He's a bit of a fuckwit. No, he's a legend. But, yeah, I would like, me personally, I would very much like to see an episode with him on it because I think it would be funny.
Okay.
And then, yeah, fucking, I don't know, man, rappers. Get my DJ on here. He used to be a very fucking highly rated martial artist.
Oh, wow.
He's got an interesting past, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking, I don't know.
Yeah.
Me again.
Yeah, you can come back. You can come back, man. Well, I have been speaking to Morns about maybe coming and doing some more bars in here, man. So maybe you could come back in with him when you got your project coming out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, I'll fucking message him after this and be like, I might have mentioned that on the podcast today. Let us know if you don't want that on there. If you want to keep it
yeah, just let me know, man.
Yeah.
All right, Dolphin Jones, it's been a good chat, man. Thanks for coming in, and I'm going to let you pick some records out and see if you can make some fire next time you come back.
Fuck yeah, man. No, I'll make some 3,000 exclusive beats.
Fuck yeah. Cheers, man.
Legend. Thanks for having us, man. Malcolm.
3,000.